don't know the fucking BB. Oh, it's hella people in here, Jay.
Oh, we're live?
Yeah, this is live, fool.
Ask them, what do you guys want us to talk about this episode?
Now the mic is on. Go ahead.
What do you guys want us to talk about this episode on the bigger picture? Give us a topic right now.
This shit is weird, bro.
Mic check,
I
mic check.
Hey, I like Zuckerberg's version of this better.
Mic check.
I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, check. Hey, Hed, do you know why Jack from Twitter is a big Kendrick fan?
Who the fuck is Jack from Twitter?
He's Twitter. He is Twitter.
He's not Twitter.
He's pre-Elon. He's Twitter. Elon is X. Jack, the guy at Jack. But he's a big Kendrick fan. You hear this?
Salute to Jack then. I don't know who the fuck Jack is, bro. I know Jack Harlow. I know Jack Nicholson. He did the later game.
Mr. Doechii.
Doechii, yeah. Do you know Jack Off?
That's it for the stream.
All right.
Jeremy had to ruin this with a white joke. You know what I'm saying? Do you know Jack Off? He just couldn't even help himself. He couldn't even help himself, dog.
It's not even 10:30 a.m.
He couldn't even fucking help himself, bro. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm getting off right now.
Jack Off K-Bot.
All right. How the fuck do I... Here, you do it. I don't know how to save that shit.
We live. Charlamagne, we live.
Jesus.
The first name you're going to mention.
Jay, apologize.
Listen.
Big Sean sampled that.
Oh, shit.
Episode.
Jerry Seinfeld just announced he's going to Vegas. I got to go see Jerry, bro.
That's your guy?
What? I love Jerry
Seinfeld. Do you love Curb?
No.
How are you not going to like Curb?
Because I'm not a Larry David guy. I'm a Jerry Seinfeld guy, bro.
You know what else you like is wrestling?
I do love wrestling.
When I saw you see the preview for the Netflix Mr. McMahon special?
Of course.
That just came out today?
Of course. I saw that.
Looks amazing.
Yeah.
I'm a big Mr. McMahon. I love the Mr. McMahon, Stephanie, Triple H.
You big Mr.
Dynasty.
McMahon? What?
Fan.
Because you know
No, he's done some horrible things recently.
Yeah, he got a weird case.
He's got a weird case. But he built this thing, wrestling entertainment, man. You can't deny that, man. I'm just excited just to see the story.
Me too.
You know?
Is my guy in there? Whoever you compared me to, is he going to make an appearance?
No.
In the doc?
He won't be in any docs.
He's not going to be. This is actually the first time his history has been documented as you mentioning him.
Oh, welcome to the bigger picture.
Yes. I'm Elliott Wilson.
Jeremy Hecht.
DJ Hed. I go last because, obvious reasons.
What obvious reasons? What are the reasons?
The black man is God.
We read left to right, in North America.
Yeah.
So, and even in Canada, you guys read.
Yeah, we do too, yeah.
So, intentionally, you guys put me on the right so that I'm last.
So that you're kind of like the period at the end of the sentence.
I'm
an exclamation
I'm the
point,
caboose.
you could say. The caboose.
Shout out to Rosa Parks.
That was a shout out to Rosa, but that was a wild shout out. We're starting here. Listen, I don't know if you guys have your bars ready or if you have maybe an instrumental ready, but it seems like media is beefing right now.
Oh yeah.
Everyone in media is starting to rap and beefing. And I just want to come out and say here right now.
Don't mess with Jeremy because Jeremy can rap.
I just want to say.
Don't threaten him, Jeremy.
Besides.
I'm white and I can rap too.
Listen, shout out to Rory. But besides...
You want to smoke with Rory?
No, I don't want to smoke with Rory. Besides the people who started as professional rappers, so Joe, Cam, AD, whoever actually had... Nori, whoever... Gilly, whoever had a career in rapping. I will say I'm top 3 with bars in media. I'm just going to leave it there. I don't want any smoke with anyone, but I just wanted to put that out there.
That's how you feel? That's how you set it off?
I'm just starting there.
What the fuck is he talking about?
I'm just saying. I'm saying when it comes to bars. So... Adam,
you say your top 3
non-professional rappers who are in media.
Who's the other 2?
I mean, I don't know. I like Rob Markman's bars.
Give me another.
I can't say off top. Is there anyone else?
Just pick one.
I don't know.
Rob Markman would battle you.
So pick one. Give me Rob, and give me one more.
I've heard Carl rap. Carl from Billboard.
Carl from Billboard raps.
He can rap.
He raps.
You got bars? Is there anybody I'm missing?
I don't necessarily know if that's...
I don't know that it's an accomplishment, honestly. But.
Yeah, I don't know how many, but, God bless you.
But this is all inspired by the great Adam 22?
So Adam 22 took some shots at Joe Budden and his former co-hosts, Fig Munity World. And I don't know, how did you guys feel about the bars?
God bless them.
They're doing the cipher thing. I thought the ciphers was
They took
over
Kai.
now.
They took Kai's.
Cypher, VET cipher. Why is he so late with his cipher?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's going on, man?
My thing is, the bars actually weren't awful, but the delivery was tough.
Do you think he wrote the bars?
No.
Ooh, Ghostwriter?
Yeah, I do. I don't believe. And you could tell the ones he wrote.
Head is so excited. Look at the way he's yawning.
All right, we want to move on to the next topic. All right.
No, it ain't. God bless him.
Should media people rap? I think
anybody. Listen, this is the part where CT and Jeremy Hecht and Alex cut to the part in the previous episode when I said there's no barrier to entry to rap and street urban culture. Hip hop and street culture are the only two things that people could just opt into with no prerequisites, no nothing.
When Adam's probably done that with both in his career,
But
right?
street culture, you at least have to get like jumped in
Do
some
you?
sense. I would think. I don't know. You
I
know.
appreciate.
I don't
shout
know.
out to Jeremy, the aficionado.
No,
of
I'm not.
street
I'm
gang
not gonna
culture.
be. But I'm just saying. I feel like it's even easier to rap because you could just grab a microphone. You don't have to do anything. You just.
It's
grab a
easy to
microphone.
gangbang. Throw a sign up, anything.
I'm not gonna do it.
Just
Last time you made me say Parus, and I think that was
it's Paru.
Parus.
Yeah.
I said
it's spelled Pyru, but it's
No, I said Pa.
The enunciation is Paru.
Paru.
So Rory thinks that he inspired this. Do you agree with that?
I did love Rory's Eminem Awfully Hot Coffee Pot
That was really good, right? Yeah.
skit. That was fire.
Rory told me he did that in one take. I don't know if he's lying.
That was impressive.
He is the son of Jake. He said he did it in one take. But I don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
The thing
but-
about this shit is, bro, AD is a real rapper.
Like legitimately a great rapper.
That's all I got
So
to
does
say.
AD. So does AD respond to this?
They did. They
They did.
responded within
Already?
like yeah. You
They
heard
did a
it.
freestyle rap?
Yeah,
Did a record?
you have
Or a
the
video.
AD one. They responded within like an hour. They called him Adam 16. But AD is like incredible with the bars. T-Rail actually had a good verse too.
AD is a real rapper.
Like, he's a
bro.
real rapper.
People think like, you know what's interesting about this is people forget that people have previous,
Yeah.
runs and things. Like people don't know that Joe Budden was a rapper.
Yeah.
Right? People don't know that AD is a rapper, a
Gilly-
real rapper
Gilly the
with
Kid.
real hit
Yeah,
records
Gilly.
and shit. So it's like, God bless everybody.
Why are we so fascinated with the media conflicts playing out? The media on media.
It is one of those things. I think
it's adoring.
I think it's in the same way that people love their favorite rappers. People do love their favorite media personalities. So there's people cheering for you. There's people who have maybe disagreed with takes people have had or things that people have done in media. And you're in the public eye, like you always say. When you're putting yourself out there, you're putting yourself out there to get critiqued in some degree. And there aren't that many other fields where you're in the public like you are in a media personality field. So that's what I think. But so no bars from you?
I'm not staying out of this unless Charlamagne gets in the booth, which I don't.
Bro, what is it with you? What is? Oh yeah, and I saw what you posted too. That was messy.
What did I post?
You posted him and Joe Budden, and he was going on a rant, and the rant actually the rant wasn't necessarily about Joe. It was about probably somebody else.
Yeah, I saw the speculation that it was that. My guy Danny from the Stop Set thought it was Joe Budden. Speculation that it could have been Wendy Williams' ex-partner.
I think that it was about Kevin.
Okay.
Yes, I don't think so, but I don't even know where that picture you got came from.
When they did, no, that's Danny from the Stop. He does these. He basically is a critical voice of the podcast. He critiques us.
He critiques podcasts.
Yes, he critiques the media. It's media talking about media. They do spaces together. They talk about us. See, we're all fascinated with media.
It's
man.
a whole
media
new
mania
world
right
out here,
now.
Jeremy.
Yeah, the media
They're the critics of the critics.
Hey, listen, bro, I'm a DJ. I don't know about none of these politics y'all got going on and none of that shit. I don't want nothing to do with it.
You want to be critiqued by them?
I don't give a fuck about being critiqued. I don't want nothing to do with. I don't want to be engaging in a space where we're just sitting around critiquing other media people. Like, that's crazy.
Well, you may be a DJ, but you are starting journalistic topics that are spreading all across the landscape.
Now, look, in 18 months, no, not even 18 months. Give me 8 months, and I might let y'all call me a journalist around this
We're
motherfucker.
working, okay. But
West Coast.
around the same time that you say I love you to somebody,
No.
it will be no. You said 50 episodes.
Oh.
It's gonna be pretty similar timing.
Really?
50 episodes. We're at 16 right now.
Come on, Jeremy Hecht, do that Canadian
Oh my
math.
gosh, I'm not good at math. I have so many videos of me messing up math on screen. But okay, 52 would be a year, right? So we are almost
You're doing it wrong,
third.
bro. You should just do 4 into each month.
4 in each month.
Yeah, so there's 4 weeks in a month usually.
Yeah.
So what you do is you go 8 months times 4. What's 8 times 4, Jeremy Hecht?
8 times 4 is
32.
32. So that would be 32 plus 16, which is 48. So pretty much around the same time.
There
2 more
see?
weeks. Thank you.
High five.
High five.
Joke's on you.
All right. But you are starting journalistic topics like, is Jay-Z bigger than Snoop Dogg? And other people in the landscape who are actually outside of the media landscape.
I like how you use people and not,
Why would I use any other word?
Well, I'm just saying.
I could use artist.
Well, you use people in place of another word on previous episodes, so I like how you use people in reference to Tyrese.
No. This.
the brother.
Yeah, we are starting early right now. It's 10:30 a.m. I could have used the word singer or superstar or actor, but I used people. But I meant Tyrese. Tyrese stole our topic about who is.
So you calling him out, Jeremy?
I'm calling out Tyrese. Tyrese.
You're saying there's no way he didn't know that we started the whole movement.
I'm calling cap on Jeremy Hecht.
Listen, I think Tyrese didn't know that we were the ones that started it, but I think he didn't just sit down one day in his home and it popped into his head, I wonder who's the bigger artist, Jay-Z or Snoop Dogg. I think he saw it on Twitter when we were trending topic worldwide, but we can play the clip as to Club Shay Shay.
Like, I'm gonna have to go Snoop, honestly.
Okay. Biggest rapper in the world. We're not talking about Grammys, because he ain't won one yet. Biggest fucking superstar in the world. That's my big homie. Long Beach,
West Coast.
West Coast. I wish him.
See, West couldn't stop
He
saying
keeps saying
West
West
Coast.
Coast.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, big homie, man. Big homie Snoop Dogg, man. Biggest in the game, man. Shit, Snoop might be announcing he a billionaire soon.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He shouldn't be. The nigga owns 732
Throwing
businesses.
pyramids.
Fuck you mean? That motherfucker wake up and his emails and notifications hit different, my brother.
Yeah.
He just hosted the Olympics and came home with 16 million new followers. 16 of them. He did that in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Snoop Dogg being on
Look at DJ,
board with this
happy DJ
1992 movie changed everything about, listen, man, we did 100 million trailer views, my brother.
Wow.
Okay, this is straight to DVD, straight to streaming, so they thought.
All right
1992,
already. That's enough for that.
Okay.
And for the record, I did reach out to Tyrese to try to confront him on it. He denied the allegations. He said he didn't think he got it from us. He would have gave us credit, blah, blah. And I hit him with the cap, and I haven't heard back from him since.
Why you do shit like that? First of all,
communicate with people. I know Tyrese. We talk. I've talked to him.
He did
in
it
the past.
beforehand because he knew we'd be talking about it on air, so he wanted to.
First, you saw I reached out to Snoop to make sure Snoop still loves me because you try to cause all this dissension.
you don't fuck with Snoop.
I do fuck with Snoop, but Snoop loves me. Snoop hit me back and said he's still my guy. He loves me. Whatever. I had to make sure because Ted's out here creating division.
I love Snoop Dogg, bro.
We all love Snoop Dogg.
I still don't even know if he likes me.
But the answer is still hold, man. Come on, man. What's wrong with this conspiracy that you guys are propaganda that you guys continue to push? But I'm gonna let it go.
Let me call cap on Elliott Wilson and Jeremy Hecht. Because Tyrese was not the one who started this topic. Shannon Sharp brought this topic up. So it wasn't Tyrese stole our topic. Shannon Sharp
Shannon Sharp
Shannon
showed
stole
our
our topic.
if you're going to assign blame to a black person, it's going to be Shannon Sharp. It's not. I'm just there. Wrong nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Which black person can I assign blame to today? For the desk of Jeremy Hecht.
When I wake up in the morning thinking.
No, but I
time
think
to assign some blame to a black man.
Wrong person is the episode title.
No, it was Shannon Sharp who brought it up.
Tyrese
And I
brought
don't
it up
think
in
it
the
was
conversation. Like
I don't think it was Shannon Sharp who brought it up either. It's probably he probably had producers like we do, and they were like, "Yo, this is a trending topic right now." Tyrese has a real relationship with Snoop.
Yeah, they were in a movie.
That's who I want to know. Like I talked to LL about that because LL did Shannon Sharp. Clearly, Shannon Sharp post the Big Cat Williams moment must has like a team of researchers and kids. I want to know who his squad is because he comes in there with his cards and he's pretty well equipped. He's going for the moments. I wonder like who's his behind the scene cast of young creatives I picture crafting these questions and topics and preparing him with the cards.
That's what I used to be.
Yeah, we got to be back in the operation. Yeah, it's like the old radio days, right? People like the little staff to help you write the questions out, give you the sheet of paper. Like, I want to know what his team looks like, the Shannon Sharp media. team.
I would believe at this point it's very extensive. But also I want to give credit to Tyrese because he had the right answer when Shannon Sharp posed the question. You know what I mean? Regardless
and he's
of
from the West Coast. Who would think that he would say
well, what do you mean? He's from Watts, but that doesn't mean that doesn't negate facts. Just because your geolocation doesn't negate facts. You're Elliott Wilson, right?
I am. Yes,
okay, that's a fact. It don't matter if we on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he becomes West Coast Wilson. When he's on the West.
Yeah. I mean, he could be trans-coast.
Trans-coastal.
Mm-hmm.
And then I gave Tyrese all the time. I was like, what is he promoting? I don't understand what he's promoting. And then come to find out he's got an album and he's got a movie. He's got everything.
1992.
I didn't know at first. I was just like, why is he on Media Run? Like, because Tyrese turns it up with the Media Run.
Yeah, he does.
What you mean? Did you
He's
not
one of the
see
greatest
Tyrese?
entertainers.
Tyrese said he got a grown-ass album. Tyrese is a grown-ass man. He reiterated that over and over and over on the Breakfast Club. And actually I tweeted that. Well, I don't remember what I said, but I said watching Tyrese's interview on the Breakfast Club has nothing on Six Flags Magic Mountain roller coasters. Like, it was complete, I was laughing, I was crying.
It was
emotionally
like a Tyler Perry
draining
movie.
all over the place, but it was amazing.
He's an incredible entertainer. No matter what, like, I don't know how much of it is performance-based, but he knows exactly how to make a crowd react.
Tyrese didn't steal our topic.
Yeah, producers on other shows did. But that's fine. That's impacting culture.
Why
That's
is
what
that? Why is that a stolen topic? We're not the first people to have that conversation.
We made it. We popularized it at the very least, and it was trending, and that's why it hit people's radar.
That's recency bias, though, because I'm sure the first time it happened, it's just as popular.
So you want us to take no credit for anything?
We sampled. This is hip hop.
Yeah, we sampled it.
I'm taking the credit. If we can take the credit, let's take the credit.
All right. We had a lot of people last time that wanted us to talk about it, but it came out after we recorded. Just so you guys know, we record usually on Wednesdays or Thursdays for the most part. So new music we talk about the week after. But Big Sean's album.
Big Sean.
Dropped.
Sean Don.
The Don.
I just interviewed him yesterday for our Rocks cover we have coming out. And I want to set this off by saying I'm sick of y'all ishing on Big Sean and dissing this album. And I feel like there's such a movement now to hate on Sean. Like, he's become the cool guy to kind of take shots at. I guess because he had his little alleged thing with Kendrick and everyone loves Kendrick, or Kanye dissed him on Drink Champs. And it's just kind of cool, like, to ish on Big Sean. I'm like, album is good to me. I like the album a lot. I mean, it's a little too long to me. Like, I would cut it down by like 5 tracks or so. But there's a lot of good shit on the album. I'm just surprised about how much people are making it cool to kind of shit on Big Sean right now, and I don't like it.
What do you think of the project?
You go first.
Well, my take is more about, I have 2 takes. I have one on the album and then one on the climate of music. I think the album I really enjoyed. Like, I think he's one of the very few artists, and I told him this too, that I've been able to grow over the course of a decade with, where I feel like his mindset, whenever he, reaches new levels, he talks about it on a song. It inspires me to expand my mindset, whether it be about, meditation or affirmations or positivity or just growing. Just even on this album, like, it's not like he hasn't spoken about this stuff before. If you go back on all his projects,
One Man Can Change the World.
One Man Can Change the World is like one of my favorite songs ever. So, but with this, it felt like he really took his time. He put out a body of work that reflects where he's at in life, and I've been really enjoying it. Now, what I want to say about the climate of hypocrisy within our expectations of people is, I looked at the conversation, right? We all kind of said the same thing about Drake up here. We said Joe has said it, other media personalities have said it, that he maybe hasn't grown with his audience, right? That he's still, doing features with Yeet, he's doing features with Yachty, he's kind of catering to a younger audience. We've said it about Kanye's latest music too, that he doesn't have much maturity in there. There's not lyrical content that we can relate to. Yeah. And what I've been thinking about is what I call the Peter Pan syndrome in hip hop, where it's not necessarily just that these people don't want to grow old or grow up with their audience, is that they want to maintain their run at the top of the game. Yeah. And the only way to maintain your run at the top of the game is to expand your audience downward.
So Big Sean should have did ass part 2.
No. So what I'm saying
ass.
What I'm saying is to Sean and to other artists, be comfortable in your lane. You don't need to have that. Kanye and Drake chose that lane. But they're not gonna have their audience necessarily growing up with them, but they're always gonna have the next generation of audience. What I'm saying to Sean, which I felt with this album, is you're gonna have lifelong fans who have grown with you, who love and appreciate your art, which I do. And I think there's other artists in his lane, whether it be a Wale or whether it be a Cordae or whoever it is that's making soulful music that wants to grow up in hip hop, that wants to grow with the music. And that is completely fine. You just have to know you're not gonna get a new 13-year-old Big Sean fan necessarily. And I'm not saying there's not hit records on there. There are. But as long as you're comfortable with the fact that you now have fans that really relate to your music, that are growing up with you, that now have a new perspective.
So you're feeding your core, but then the sales aren't as big as your sales previously.
And that's why it's going to be okay.
They're going to judge you like you're not as good as you were.
Which is why I don't like the sales conversation necessarily. But that was my thought.
I don't like the sales conversation either, but so I had a couple of thoughts about the album. One, when I listened to it, it is long. Pause. But I think that I don't know. I think he had a lot to get off his chest. You know, he's been gone for years. Yeah. It's not really like one of them things. He's been through a lot. He became a dad. Like, you know, it's just different things he's going through in his life. And then even when we talk on, like, we've talked on the phone and stuff like that for a period long, like extended periods of time, like I could tell he has a lot of shit on his mind that he wants to. Some of it he wants the world to understand his perspective on, and some of it he wants to just get off his chest, right? And so I look at the music. This album to me was, from his perspective, I think it was very therapeutic.
Yeah.
And then
to get the music out.
And then also the second part of it is, I think he's tired of being kicked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just tired of being kicked around and stuff like that. Part of it is on him too. Like, and we talked about that too. Like, as far as the onus is on him. Like, he will say random stuff, and it's just him popping his shit, and it's not necessarily directed at anybody. But people feel like, hey, you took a shot at this, or you bit this person's style, or, you know, like with the Baby Keem thing or the Kendrick stuff or whatever. And we've talked about that too. And he's like, bro, I'm not taking shots at Kendrick. Like, that's not what I'm doing right now. Like, and so anyway, I think 2 records on there that I like that are my go-to records is I like the record by the Sun, obviously. That was like special. I think it was a dope moment for him to share with the world. On Up. And then the second record is the hit. Obviously, I'm a DJ. It's called Who You Are, Superstar. I've been on Def Jam's line this last week. Like, everybody from the
president. You think that could be a big hit?
Everybody from the president on down, like, hey, work this record, let's get it going, whatever. I mean, I put Sean in touch with different people, like, hey, let's get this record, you know, going, because I think that it could be beneficial to the ecosystem. This is not something that I would expect everybody to understand, but I come from radio. Radio is still the major way to distribute passive music, hip hop, right? So we have these sections in radio. You have a rotation record, which is one that you hear every 45 minutes, right? Not like us, Drake records, stuff like that. The B tier records, or what we call recurrence, is where you get that longevity from. So that's why when you listen to the radio now, you'll still hear songs from the first Travis Scott album, or you'll still hear songs from 6 years ago from Drake. It's because people aren't making hit records now that become recurrence, and they're still being played after the fact, after the moment, right? And so I'm encouraging artists to, when you do have a record, let's push these records, let's make them as popular as possible. When you have one that works, make them as popular as possible, so that way we have staying power, because then you start losing listenership from a hip hop perspective, and then everybody starts going to other genres and other formats. So that's how you start getting the country boom.
So it uplifts the whole genre.
It uplifts the whole genre when people are making records that have staying power. Not necessarily substance, not necessarily ass, you know, whatever, but just songs that can that have longevity in it, right? I think Superstar, Who You Are, can be one of those songs that we're playing for the next 2 or 3 years. It can become a recurrent record, and that helps the ecosystem.
The sonics of it, you feel? If it's,
it helps the ecosystem of the entire genre. Does that make
But
it's
sense.
interesting with the DSP world, though, because like I remember working at Tidal, they're like, these are the focus records, right? Another word for it.
Singles.
But the DSP strategy to me is different, because the ones I was seeing is more were pushing the record with Gunner.
I like that song,
fits
too.
more of like the current playlisty kind of climate thing. So it's interesting that both things are going on, where it's like, I guess if your strategies with the DSPs is you're going to push him and Gunner, turbo beat, it's got a certain balance, like it's what's currently out. Gunner's currently hot. Sean has been away 4 years. But you're saying you record like Superstar, which you did a video for, that fits the radio thing that Sean has always had.
Yes.
That's another reason
Since
why
the beginning.
That's another reason why the sales are low. It's like this is the first kind of big Sean album without the big radio hit or radio rotating record as the album's coming out. So there's like a lack of connection.
Because people don't understand too. So most of the sales come from a big single. Like when Drake had Views, Hotline Bling was a #2 song with like, next to Adele, but it had like 100 million streams before the album came out, and he was on a bonus track on that. That adds so much to your sales because a lot of albums don't get that combined. So if you have a single, whereas Sean, I didn't personally love Yes. I did really like the Alchemist track, but he didn't have a massive single, so it's clearly going to.
You gotta listen to Yes on some speakers. If you listen to Yes in a club or a crazy system, it go crazy. But to Elliott's point on the streaming side, that's also what makes where we are in hip hop so interesting, is because it's damn near a split audience. Because, for instance, the streaming numbers on the Gunna record might be better for Sean, right? But that's also, if you're streaming on Apple or Spotify or Tidal, you're not listening to the radio, right? You're getting and you're listening to your streaming service of choice. So it's a completely different audience. So the passive listener is getting spoon-fed whatever they're listening to from a radio standpoint. It could be YouTube recommendations, whatever the case may be. But then if you're listening on a streaming platform, you're just going to the one you want to listen to, and you're playing that jam over and over and over again, right? So I think right now, not even right now, but over the last 5-6 years or so, it's kind of been this teeter-totter of, do we go all in on this one, or do we split and just go ahead?
They're not making a decision, really.
Right, and so now what the labels are doing, especially major labels, they're just putting the album out and seeing what people fuck with. And it's like being reactionary, I think, is a mistake, but it's how they're saving money as opposed to working records. And I don't know if that's the right strategy, because I think right now where we are in hip hop is back to the basics. Every artist, Big Sean, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, when we get the fall off, everybody is back to the basics, bro. Grassroots, go where your fans are, go sit with the DJs, go touch the people, because now it's so much music dropping every Friday, every Tuesday.
That's what Sean was saying to me yesterday when we was talking about the low sales projections. It's like, a part of it also is he hasn't given us an album in 3 or 4 years, right? So it's like, I think in this climate, I think you talked about it earlier, Hed, about like very few artists can go away the old traditional way. I'm gonna go away 2 years, come back with a new album.
It's like a
3
decade,
years, 4 years.
it feels
like a decade to fans today. So you kind of have to have some sort of constant presence in the marketplace if you're gonna be competitive. Whether you're doing features, whether you're doing a single, like, you have to find a way that you can't go years without no Big Sean music accessible. So, well,
that's kind of why I think when there was that comparison to Baby Keem, which I was so annoyed by, but it shows you that it's like, okay, it's been a while. Now there's new fans that are coming up that are like, this sounds like Baby Keem, which to those new fans, what I really do want to say about the disrespect to Sean is, please do not disrespect that man's flow. That man's flow has influenced every single one of your favorite rappers. That literally, the super duper flow, Drake on Forever. He had to apologize on Over My Dead Body. Not apologize, but he basically said, he used the flow and he said, I'm not worried about something that ain't mine. Kanye, he's written for him forever. He's influenced some of Kanye's biggest flows. And then there's an entire generation of people afterwards who copied Sean's flow. So if anything, I'm not saying Baby Keem copied Sean, but you'd have to look at that in the reverse way.
Why do you guys think it is so cool to be super critical of Sean? And either
he's an easy target.
Podcasters or the kids on social media, like, it just seems like it's.
I think he's an easy target. He doesn't talk really ever to anyone. Like, he doesn't do a lot of media, press, stuff like that until it's time to go do the runs or whatnot. And even then, he still doesn't do a lot of it. Right? We don't hear from him, and this is something I told him. We don't hear directly from him. We don't know how he feels about certain things, and he doesn't necessarily clear up public rumors that may not, and I'm not saying you have to do that, but also when you don't do that, that's what comes with it. It's a speculation. So I just pulled up some numbers, right? DJ Hed, the journalist.
Okay. 8 more months, baby.
So the exaggerated number of songs that drop on Spotify is 60,000 a day.
A day?
The more accurate number is 23,000 songs a day on Spotify. So when you multiply 23,000 songs a day,
it's a mathematician.
Yeah, I'm not
right.
Episode.
There's 365 days in a year.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're gone 4 years, that's 1,460 days you're gone times 23,000.
He's good at math.
Carry the one.
That's 33,580 songs. 580,000 songs. 33,580,000 songs have dropped since you dropped.
Holy shit.
An album.
And that's just on Spotify.
That's just on Spotify. So that's not including my baby mama tripping, what I got going on. I got fired from my job. It's distraction everywhere. So just for artists that are out here, I'm not saying drop every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Drop. No, I'm not saying drop every 2 weeks.
It could still be oversaturation.
What I'm saying is
strategic about it and having
what
presence.
I'm saying is drop according to what your pace is, but also be aware that you're not the only shit going on out here no more. Like that those days are over with.
And you have to find the right way to engage with your fans. I mean, even like the Polo G's in that generation, you see they come back, they're not getting the same results they had years ago.
Hell no.
A short time. But it's like, to me, you have to find a way to, like, to earlier theme you had, like, who really are your fans? Like, the audience that fucks with you, and how do you stay engaged with them so that, you know, it doesn't feel like you're making this big return to this open market? It's like, you have to find a way, even if your pace is not to put records out consistently, how do you stay engaged with your fan base? And like you said, maybe it is some more hand-to-hand, like going to the DJs, going to these certain bloggers, like certain things, the relationships and keeping a presence is important now. So everything's about the business of it. It's not just, music's gonna do all the talking for me anymore. It's like, you gotta be real strategic about how you move in this business.
But also, I was talking to an artist, and we
Fill in the blank. This episode of the Bigger Picture.
I was talking to an artist about this, and he told me he said, well, the people that we look up to were elusive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Jay-Z's and they weren't like always around. Nas's, and like even if you look at somebody like Dot, like they're not J. Cole. Like these people aren't.
They're not accessible.
They're not accessible. They're always like out of the way, out of the, you know. And so they were like, that's kind of the example we have to follow. And I'm like, fuck that. Don't do that. That's not the model. Do what they're doing in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Doechii, I want to give props to Doechii, man, because his tree is extensive, right? Guwap's like, you get off of him, you get Mike Will, you get all these different people, right? You get Thug, and then off Thug, you get Gunna. Like, it's just, his tree is ridiculous. Migos. And then Doechii just put an album out. You know what I mean? Like,
with drama, right?
Yeah, with drama. So I'm like, I think that's more of the, and then people are assuming like, oh, Atlanta had a chokehold on the culture for so long. I think that's the formula, though.
You couldn't avoid them.
You can't get away. You can't escape their presence. It's always the South's presence in hip hop over the last 10 years has been omnipresent.
And it's almost like, to me, there is a middle ground, right? Like I once wrote a video about that where there's the two extremes of how to drop music. There's Gucci Mane.
Give me a record every week.
There's Gucci and there's Kendrick, where every Kendrick album feels special because of how much time it is, or Rihanna or Frank Ocean, people who take like years to make music. Or there's Gucci, where none of his albums feel special, and maybe he'll catch a couple hits, you know, and his influence is felt. But I think when it comes to the marketplace right now, as artists, and in media, whatever you do, you have to decide what you want, right? Like, who do you want to be? Do you want to be the guy, the number one guy? And if you want to be the number one guy, then you're going to have to do certain things. Certain people are afforded certain luxuries to be the number one guy. Like, you know, Kendrick has always had that formula of taking time away, or J. Cole, whereas Drake had the formula of having to kind of be in the public eye. Jay-Z dropped an album every summer. He did features with people. Kanye dropped, you know, big albums and made, you know, way with new artists and found new sounds. But if you just want to be somebody who drops great music and has a fan base and tours and makes a living off of your art and is still considered one of the best at your craft, that's a different formula. So I think people need to understand what their goals are, what their intentions are, and move according to that.
I do think that Better Me Than You is more personal for him. And even you know, he just had his delays, and the album kept getting pushed back due to whatever happened, right? Yeah. But him like saying, no, I'm gonna just put the album out this Friday. Fuck it, right?
Yeah.
I talked to my mom.
Yeah.
She got me in the right headspace.
Yeah.
Here comes the album, whatever. I think it's dope. But at the same time, when you do stuff like that, just understand what comes with that. It's gonna be, people are gonna criticize it. People are gonna do that. They're gonna have their favorites. They're gonna nitpick. Whatever the case may be, they're gonna compare it. That's just just human nature. So I don't necessarily believe in the microwavable album consumption where it's like, is the album good, bro? It came out yesterday.
Yeah, let things grow.
You know what I'm saying? I saw 2 album reviews go up I think it was Sunday, and I'm like, bro, the album been out. and I know you didn't have the album ahead of time. Before, Elliott Wilson would get the album ahead of time or whatever. I would get the album ahead of time, or I'd be in the studio. Yeah. So I'd have a month with the album, or Elliott would have 2 weeks with the album, and then do a solid review of it. The album came out 48 hours ago, bro. You got a full album review 48 hours of the album.
You ain't that nice.
That's crazy.
Well, it gets better too. There's so many albums that if I had to give an opinion the day after, it would be much different than if I let it sit with the rollout that they're giving me, lived with my life, ride around to it in the car. Like this album, I liked it first, but I was listening to it in the airport when I was walking. Then I sat down with it. Then I listened to it in the car. Then I walked around. I love this album a lot more than I first did, and I liked it at first. Views, I didn't like when I first listened to it, but I gave it a summer. I listened to it. I experienced with it. I love that
summer?
Album. I gave it a summer. What? I can't have a summer with Drake. I can't have a Drake summer. You never had a Drake. You've had some Drake summers. You're
first Drake mentioned in the episode.
Okay, but off of Drake. Yeah, that was the first mention.
You should have a media.
I don't listen to nobody's shit all summer, bro. One album all summer is
not
nuts.
Just that album, but you never had an album that encapsulated your summer.
Yeah, fantasy, right? You listen to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy all summer.
Like high school, college, anything?
Maybe, I don't know. But the summer is crazy.
Chronic, Doggy Style.
No,
that was before, Doggy Style summer is crazy.
That was before my time.
Have you ever had a summer album that encapsulates your experience?
It wasn't Views.
Have you read a Doggy Style summer, Elliott Wilson? Pre-marriage.
I gotta go back and remember. I don't even know, man.
So at some point you fucked with Snoop Dogg.
Snoop is my friend. Stop trying to create dissension between me and Snoop.
Listen, we were talking about shout out Snoop. We're talking about
shout out Big Sean, man.
And shout out to Big Sean.
He can handle this. He's thick skinned.
Yeah,
he's a big boy. Don't underestimate Sean. Sean ain't soft. He's from Detroit.
I feel like you needed to pause 3 times there.
Pause. Yeah, whatever you want to do.
He's a big boy. He can handle it. He's not soft.
Yeah,
that's right.
I was just about to say that Sean wanted to
Detroit.
He does want to be on the bigger picture at some
Big
point.
Sean
we're
can handle it. He's a big boy.
Thick skinned.
And he not soft.
And he not soft.
Jesus Christ.
Boy. Swerve.
That was a good transition. The swerve. Okay, we were talking about sales. There was a battle of the ages, multi-genre that went on over the weekend. During Labor Day, we had Travis Scott and pop's new sensation, Sabrina Carpenter, battling it out for the #1 spot. They had to delay the Billboard sales announcement.
Woo.
A 2-day delay.
Bundle battle.
A bundle battle.
The bundles are battling.
But we were talking, it's funny, last week we kind of all sat here and said the same thing. We said sales are kind of dead to the point where we did say there's an exception of massive artists, but
that's what okay.
So I will say that these two are both massive artists. But I think what was really interesting about this is the way that their sales differed on how they got there, right? We can talk about the system in a second and Travis's battles with it, but I saw this article that explained kind of what the difference was in their physical sales versus streaming sales. Okay. So Travis Scott had a whopping 300,000 digital copies, whereas Carpenter only moved 45,000. Now, that means that 300,000 people were buying albums from Travis Scott's website exclusively, where he dropped 6 they had a deluxe battle.
6 different versions.
6 different deluxe versions. She dropped 5 different deluxe versions, different songs, trying to get but I think this reminds me of what happened with Tory Lanez, where what Tory figured out was he could sell $1 million album as an NFT and sell $1 albums to 1 million fans, make $1 million, and also sell his album out. Travis found a way here where, okay, if 300,000 of my fans are willing to pay $4.99, similar to the Patreon subscription model or something like that, that's a different way to do things. Now, I do think that there's some people behind the scenes who probably look at that, whether it be major labels behind Sabrina or people that are in with the Billboard charts or people on the streaming that are paying for some of that stuff, that look at this and go, we can't reward this. And we can't say that this is how you can get a number one artist as a number one album as an independent artist. I think there's something weird going on, but that's just me.
I hate all of that, man. I hate the whole trend of like this is my 5th version of the album, or here's the fake bonus track, or this is a different track order. Like, it's all cheating to me. It's like, like your album is your album. Again, I don't like the living being art of the album Kanye started, where it's like you keep tweaking my album forever, keep thing like, I don't even love the deluxe thing. I feel like that was dying down. But it is interesting, like how much thought behind the scenes has to be put into all this. Like, if she played it tone for tone with him, like you said, like she was doing the bundle battle too, right?
Yeah.
Her team is strategizing. So, but it is funny though, like the narrative to me that Travis is the bad guy, like that industry doesn't like him, they conspire against him, they won't give him a Grammy, you know. The
Nicki battle.
The Nicki battle, he lost that situation there. I know he won that, but he
but they were like saying the bundles and yeah.
I like Travis Scott as the bad guy of the industry, like not the darling of it, because he got the people, obviously the people love him. He's got his whole rabid fan base, but. That's so unrelated. I just sort of, I don't think he was part of the beef or anything, but Wale just said that, Sabrina Carpenter album is tough. I haven't listened to it. Is Sabrina Carpenter album tough?
She's a very good pop star. She's a very good pop star.
I don't even know why this is really a conversation, because not between us, but I'm talking about in the mainstream, because like it's a mixtape that was out on
10 years ago.
That was out on SoundCloud. So if you grading this fairly on a curve, Sabrina Carpenter's work is new.
Yes.
People have had 10 years or so to live with this Travis Scott music, and know that they like it already.
Yeah, and he's feeding the fan base.
So
that
it's like
this is a classic.
It's almost that's
him.
$1 million, a million copy release basically. If you look at it objectively, like
it's not the same thing. I don't like the 1-to-1 comparison because it's not the same. It's new. It's new music,
but we do like the classic mixtapes. Getting the official DSP release or digital
I mean,
releases
shout out to my big homie Glasses, G Malone. He just released stuff that obviously wasn't available before. Lil Wayne did it with Sorry for the Wait. You know what I'm saying? Like he started release. I think it's important because it's part of your discography. It's part of your catalog for us to be able to have access to these songs that we love or whatever. But it starts getting tricky when you start putting that up against new music, because we wouldn't say, for instance, I'll give you an example. Right now, if not Sabrina Carpenter, but let's say, okay, we use Sabrina Carpenter. Let's use Sabrina Carpenter, and she's putting out a 10-year-old classic mixtape, right?
Yeah.
That we know these white people love the shit out of, right? Then we put that up against Kendrick's new album. Brand new, nobody's ever heard it or whatever. Hip hop will be up in arms about
if they lost.
It would be whole think pieces, YouTube reaction videos on how they snubbed Kendrick and all this other kind of stuff, right? It's not the same thing. It's not a 1-to-1. That's why I don't think this is a good conversation to have from a sales standpoint, because I've had 10 years to like these songs. I'm buying shit I already like.
You have to support because you're a big fan.
Right. As opposed to me consuming something I'm not familiar with. It's not the same thing.
Do you think there's a bunch of new fans from this project who are like younger fans who didn't hear this and now are thinking
Of course.
it's new?
There's always people who are new to the party, but the case can be made that I guarantee you, if they looked at who bought these projects from his website, the majority of people are Travis Scott fans or people familiar with Travis Scott.
They bought T-shirts before. They bought tour tickets.
They've been to the shows. Yeah. Like, they've been exposed to it. Sabrina Carpenter's a brand new artist. You can't.
So we should more reward the brand new in the sense.
Of course, because
it's why she got the number one.
Yes, you should, because I'm being introduced to something that's unfamiliar to me, as opposed to something that's classic.
So why the big fight then? I mean, on Sabrina's label side or Billboard side, whoever's putting it, like, why the big fight to get that to number one? Why does the number one album still matter so much, like industry-wise?
Because you want which answer you want?
The truth. I want the truth.
I'll give you my
truth,
thought,
Rocky.
and then you can tell me. Because I think, like, from what I've heard, it's the marketing side of things. You get to market it as a number one album. You get to put it on a billboard. You get to go on late night talk shows and say, with the number one album in the country. Yes. And then somebody who's never heard the album gets to be like, oh, this is a number one album. I'm going to go check it out. That's the only reason I've heard. But is there like a behind the scenes like?
So the behind the scenes, Elliott Wilson, how long did you run XXL?
From 1999 to 2008.
All right. So had you ever received a bonus for something that did well?
If the issue sold over 40%, I would get a $5,000 bonus.
It's also how record labels work.
To the teams too, like marketing team.
Oh, so if they get a number one album, they get bonuses.
So
number 2 album gets you no bonuses. No bonus.
Okay, so
Yo
then,
no sé, no hablo inglés. Pero...
Okay, that's why, yeah. Because I've talked to marketing people, and they'll say that their work isn't done until it's number one.
I'm learning. I didn't know that.
As a promo, the promo department gets bonused if the record fares well. Like people get bonuses based on this all the way up the chain. So
Sabrina's team's like this.
I'm incentivized as a label. I'm incentivized because I get bonus structures and I hit these markers. But then overarching, when you look at the way the major labels work, I don't know what label she signed to. Don't want to know because I don't want to know like who I'm talking to, right? But I'm just saying the way these things work is you're always incentivized based on what Elliott just said, percentages, numbers, stuff like that. Yeah. That's the back end. Front facing, I get to brag that I have a number one album, just like a Grammy. Travis Scott doesn't have a Grammy, right?
Yeah.
Why do you want that? He sold more hard tickets in Europe than Taylor Swift. Why do you give a fuck about the Grammy? It's just an accolade that you hit that you get to utilize within what we do.
How many number one albums is Kanye? Like 7 number one albums, or as many number one albums? Like it's an accolade. But no, that's interesting. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but I didn't realize how incentivized labels are for the number one and give bonuses to their staff and their team.
Damn. Do you think the industry's against Travis to some degree, or what do you think?
I think we kind of always position himself like that as sort of the anti-industry thing. Even now, he came in the game. They came in the game with T.I., right? Like in Kanye, and different people. But it wasn't just like he's never was the darling of it. Remember, the whole beginning, he wouldn't even show his face. He put his head down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't. He presents this whole rebellious image, right? Has a rabid fan base. Yeah, it's very anti-industry. But he's at the point now where he's gotten so big, he wants those accolades, like we're saying. He wants that Grammy. He's pissed that he's not getting these things. He's not getting a number one album. So it's interesting. I think it's just going to fuel.
I think that we also conflate. We conflate people being hot with them selling product. We conflate numbers with somebody being hot. We conflate somebody being hot with how popular they are, and we conflate their art with the hysteria of their fan base. Travis Scott, you got to think about it, right? If you put out an album within the fiscal year of a Grammy, right, you get nominated. Your competition is not your ticket sales, your album sales, how big the record is. Your competition is who you're competing with in that category. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's nuance to it. So like he doesn't have a Grammy. It's not indicative of how bad he is or him being villain or his sales. It's indicative of who he was competing with in that fiscal year for the Grammys.
Yeah. But that's the part he's not getting, though. He's getting all the other stuff. He's one of the rare rap acts that could sell out big places, big stadiums, whatever. It's like, but what you always want what you don't have yet. Like he still wants to have at least that one Grammy. That validation.
And I would encourage Travis Scott and everybody from his team to join the Grammy board. When you have a problem with something, this is a problem that I have. Yeah, when I had a problem with radio, I went and got on the radio. When I had a problem with the Grammys, I was like, same thing. I felt like Macklemore, right? I went and joined the Grammy board so I can understand how it works. So it's a lot of people who, not necessarily Travis Scott. I'm not singling him out, but there's a lot of people who kick and scream about these structures. Well, radio doesn't do this, or the Grammys this, or HipHopDX, or Uprocks does this. Well, do you know how the system works?
Yeah, it's like they're all flawed systems, but you got to be active in them. But I think there was a year where Travis and Sycamore did a lot of the runs of that and did like these events for them at the Grammys, and still not. And that's when they get more mad. Is like you play the game and then you feel like
no. Doing the events is not the same thing as joining the board and understanding the structure of the inner workings. Yeah. Coming on the Bigger Picture as a guest is not the same thing as you sitting with Elise or Elliott or Jeremy or Alex and learning how to craft, learning what goes on.
Strategy of how to reach out to these people.
Correct. That's not the same thing.
Board. Like, I think they said Victoria Monet's team did a great job of that, of sort of really realizing,
understanding
how it works, who's really voting, like what's the campaign you're sending out to those people, because you need those people to literally cash you on their ballots.
And for artists that don't know, like artists like Russ, who are independent and stuff like that, you have to submit your works for the Grammy. They don't just be like, man, this album's fire, let's consider it. You have to submit You have to submit your album to be considered for a Grammy nomination. That's a real
Russ
thing.
knows that.
I'm not talking about. I said artists like Russ
independent
that are
artists.
independent.
Yeah. Okay.
Russ
Yeah.
wannabes.
Yeah.
Not Russ.
Yeah.
Independent artists per se. Yeah.
Oh, I did realize why you don't like Fiend.
Why is that?
I saw a TikTok where they were talking about, this is TikTok news, they were talking about how fiend actually has a devilish meaning to the word. It actually means, if you look it up, fiend not only is,
It's
a junkie.
enunciated very devilish on that record,
right?
too.
And so he's having an entire crowd chanting towards him. It could mean a demon or a devil. A fiend can be an evil spirit, demon, or devil. So the God in you
doesn't sit right with my soul.
It didn't sit right with your spirit,
and
and
you a light-skinned black man God? That's beautiful. You see what he said? That's
Hey,
beautiful.
I'm with. We all have God within us, okay? But you had your spirit push back against fiend, and so I just want to say I get it. I'm with you now. I no longer like fiend.
You saw my other confession. It was Playboy Carti did get the cover of Billboard, the big hip hop players thing. So if I was posting some of it, supporting it, and then finally I put a photo up, and I was just like, okay, I admit it. I don't get it. Like, I've tried. I like the one Playboy Carti song I do like that he rolled out with this like fake release. He's gonna put the album out. It's him and Travis on the song. I actually like that song. I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
They did a video for it, but. I liked when he first came out with Magnolia. Magnolia.
Or Magnolia,
Yeah, is that what Magnolia? But I don't get the Playboy Carti thing. Actually,
He is music though. His new album titled. He said, "You don't have to get me. I am everything.
No, I get
am
it.
music."
I get it.
Yeah.
But it
God
bothers
bless
me
him.
that I don't.
God bless him.
It bothers me that I don't get his appeal and like why. Even the guy Destroy Lonely, right?
Yeah.
Like he's related to
Ken
him or something.
Carson.
I listened to that Carson, a couple songs I could get with, but it's like that's when I sadly feel like I'm 53 years old and I don't get it, and I'm trying to understand why it's working. And
But you're not supposed to.
Yeah, it's probably not for everything's not for everybody.
He's
not making music.
You're
for you,
not
though.
supposed to get
No,
it.
but I
They're
know
not
that.
talking to us.
No, I'm not saying but I don't even understand what the young person's hearing that they think is good.
You're not supposed to.
Why not?
Because they're not
It
talking
doesn't
to
mean I
us.
have to act like I'm doing the lyrics and bopping around to it. I want to understand why a demographic is attracted to it and what are they hearing, whether I agree or not. You see what I'm saying?
But they didn't even like hip hop. There's generations before hip hop started that were like, this isn't music, So I think it's like it always happens. But Playboy Carti's just, because I didn't get it either, and then I saw people dancing and mosh pitting to it, and I was like, okay, that's for them. But I also am a Playboy Carti meme online. Somebody will pull it up. Yeah, I was on the show called Before They Were Famous, and what I would do for my intros is I would use all of an artist's songs as puns in order to like introduce their biography. So it would just be me saying their entire life story in like 10 sentences with all their song names inserted. But what they did was they cut it right after I kind of like did my full intro. So it looked like I was just super serious up there being like, Playboy Carti used to be a broke boy with his stomach hurting. And every time Carti doesn't drop an album, they post this meme of me and say, this is why Carti didn't drop. But then after...
So you're the reason.
I'm the reason. But it's been like 5 or 6 years since that happened, and now people are coming around to it and being like, yo, he was low-key spitting. He kind of had some bars there. So I'm just saying, Carti fans, if you know, you know. But
That's crazy.
yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's wild. I have a question. So the music, like Elliot was just saying, right? I had this debate, and it was about how, basically, do we need truth in our music, right? Because it's been speculation that Future doesn't necessarily engage in the things that he raps
He
about.
said it.
Allegedly, right?
Yeah.
Also, we have countless other artists who probably aren't of the caliber that they speak that they're from, right?
Yeah.
Is it from Travis Scott's standpoint? Do you like, you don't resonate with the Fiend record, right? And Jeremy so brilliantly broke that down as to why it doesn't resonate with your spirit, because you're a god, a light-skinned god, right?
Why do you have to say it in a mocking tone?
I salute
can't
you.
be a light-skinned guy?
You light-skinned guy, King.
You're a
Hey,
king.
this
I
king.
received that, king.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if let's say Travis, I'm gonna just tell you what I think. I don't necessarily like people using things for shock value.
Yeah.
That was one thing that again, going back to when I had to apologize to Tyler the Creator, is because he used imagery that didn't resonate with my spirit when he his introduction to kind of make a splash, right? With the Yonkers shit, right? And then when you look at the imagery that Travis Scott uses, even in his merch, and then also when I saw Trippie Redd at Rolling Loud, same kind of deal, right?
He does that too.
Cardi, so it kind of lends to the idea of these people are not these people. Some of these people I've had conversations with behind closed doors, they're not even like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, I'm just doing this because like this what works, or this is what's gonna give me the attention I need to do this. And it's like, you really don't gotta do that, my nigga. You could really just make some, or like you can paint your face, right? Well, you can't. You can paint your.
It depends on what color.
No, don't.
I'm just not gonna do it.
Just don't. You can. You can paint your face. You can put tattoos on it. All. You can do all that. You can wear hair. You could dance on stage or shirt off, whatever. Or you could just make fire music. You know what I'm saying?
That's the hard part, though.
So I guess the question are we at a point where that's too hard to compete musically? Let me just do this other stuff to kind of garner attention around my music, or because we're talking about it, it works to a certain degree, right?
Well, okay, this is how I feel, because I actually do think about this a lot. I personally am of the ilk that you shouldn't play with that kind of stuff. Like whether it be devilish or imagery, especially if you don't believe in it.
Correct.
If you don't believe in it, then you are actually putting things out there into the world for someone else to attach onto and believe, and putting something negative into the world and the ether. Now, I would say the same thing about somebody who doesn't live what they're talking about. You are actually being more negative, in my opinion. I'm not saying you should be doing all the drugs or doing the killing or whatever it is, but it's looked at a different way when you're a King Von, and then you see, oh shit, like he was literally talking about his experience. I don't know what to tell him. I don't want to listen. But versus, rest in peace, versus like a Future where he literally says, I don't do this stuff. And then you hear Juice WRLD say, I started sipping lean because of Future. Yeah. When I interviewed Smoke Perp, I asked him, I said, hey, how do you feel with the responsibility? This was years ago. I said, how do you feel with the responsibility of kids online saying, I sipped lean because of you? And I brought up that Juice WRLD interview, and he said, I actually do take responsibility for that. I'm the one saying it, I'm telling them, I'm showing this lifestyle, and they're following through. And he said, if you do listen to me about doing drugs, you also have to listen to me about going to rehab, which I really did respect him saying.
Okay.
Did you ever have those moments where somebody said like, hey, I tried whatever because of you? Do you feel, is that a responsibility that weighs on you?
Yeah, it definitely weighs on me. Even though I never told nobody like, yo, go do this, but I have seen people like, yo, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, like kind of just, yeah, I'm on that Xan, or yeah, I'm drinking lean, fucking shout out Smoke Perp, you know what I'm saying, like shit like that. I'm like, damn, like I wasn't trying to make nobody go do this shit, you know what I'm saying. I'm just talking about what I go through. So it's like, all right, if people think it's cool because I did it, I didn't, then y'all got to think rehab is cool because I went there.
Well, that's the thing too. Like some people used to live their lifestyle and they don't do it anymore.
I remember,
but even with Future, if you listen to the music on the last Metro's album, it's very less about the drug talk, junkie stuff that he used to do.
Yeah, but what's his classic
He's not talking
project?
about codeine, crazy. But I'm saying I get it. DS2, I was there. But I mean, I think if you think about it as time is going on, he is rapping less about that because more and more he's not living that lifestyle anymore.
Yeah.
So was he?
I think at one time he was.
Oh, okay. So he's just not doing it now.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah,
I was under the impression that he never had done it.
No, I
think
we don't know
was.
for a fact, but I know
think he was.
pretty much he had said at a certain point he stopped doing it.
Okay.
But he still at that time still kept rapping about it.
It's like drug dealer rappers, like.
So I had the same conversation. I don't know if I told y'all when I interviewed Beans. I had Beans on the radio, and he was talking about how all the kids are drugged out and like
and users versus
on Beanie Siegel.
Yeah, Beanie Siegel. I asked him straight up. I was like, well, he was like, well, in my day, we were the dealers, and it was cool to be a dealer. Now it's cool to be a user. And I said, well, don't you take some of the onus or responsibility for that? Because if you're the dealer, who you think you was dealing to?
No, it's a fact.
Now all of these people was on this shit. So it's like, if you're the dealer, you have to be dealing to someone. And then those dealers now you look down on because they're consuming the product you're selling.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when police officers look at snitches. They're like, "Why is he just a snitch?" You literally need him for information. So it's not, you can't necessarily look down on him if you're needing this person for sustainability.
Yeah. Well, with Pusha T, it's really interesting.
Same thing with Push.
Because I actually think that was one of Drake's hardest criticisms towards Pusha that really hit to me when he said, you might have sold Coke to college kids for Nike and Mercedes, but you act like you were Escobar in the 80s. You middleman in them. Whatever he said, he's like, I look you dead in the eye, you middleman in them shit. You was never them guys. I think those are some of the hardest bars towards Push, and he actually had to, in his reply, say, ghostwriting aside, drug dealing aside, because it was such a big critique of his entire persona that he had to put it. And okay, let's talk about this. But it's weird because I know people are going to critique me for saying we don't want to hear anything else from Pusha T. They're going to say we want. Whereas what I'm most excited about for the new Clipse album is the duality of No Malice saying, here's how I overcame that. Here's what I did, but here's where I'm at. And I'm actually looking forward to the reflection side of that. Yeah. Matched with Pusha T, where you get both sides of, even Pusha had the song.
I'm excited for this album.
I was
for
gonna
sure.
say, I can't believe we're getting it. Like, I always preach about how there's no more rap groups.
Sorry, nigga. I'm trying to come home.
Yeah, that song was crazy.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah, that song was crazy.
Oh,
You
my
love a
God,
snitch?
that
You
was
love
a
a
fire.
snitch? You love a snitch?
That's the only snitch
the
he
song
loves.
was fire. I don't care about snitching. I'm not a member of the criminal underworld.
Neither am I.
I'm a United States citizen.
Civilian.
My passport is blue. You know what I'm saying?
It says
I'm
Drake
a
on it.
civilian.
Drake.
If you wrong me and you cause harm to my
Mr.
person
Drake.
or property, I'm calling the authorities.
Mr.
And white
Drake,
people
Mr.
pressing charges with full of prejudice.
Wait,
Fuck you
say it
talking
again?
about?
You do what?
I'm pressing charges with full prejudice. Fuck you mean?
Mr. Drake is no problem calling law enforcement.
I owe taxes right now. I need all mine.
There's a civilian panel.
But rap group, man. Rap group is back, man. The Clipse,
Yeah.
I can't believe a rap group, man.
What do you expect
Outkast,
from
they try
this?
to break everybody up as groups. You know what I'm saying?
We got rap groups out. The Cuzzos is on the pop out.
Oh, I saw them pop out on somebody allegedly. That's what I thought. But I'm
Rap
excited
groups
about
out,
the
you know
Clipse
what I'm
album.
saying?
Entirely produced by Pharrell too, right? That's the rumor.
I didn't see that,
Yeah, I
but that
think
sounds
so.
right. Yeah. Who do you guys think that missing feature is? Push.
Oh, here's what's funny about that. I hit Push.
Uh-oh.
Push was
Oh,
like,
you hit him?
everybody was assuming it was Hove. Everyone was saying Hove.
The bigger
you know,
picture, the bigger
Jay-Z.
picture.
So then I hit him, and I was like,
What?
what?
Just passed away?
Are you serious?
Rich Homie Quan?
Rich Homie Quan.
I haven't seen. Nobody did new. Let me see on Twitter.
They're saying it's a possible OD.
Yep. No, it's on records though.
It seems like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
We'll close it. Let's close the episode. We'll close the episode out.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll
Let's
have
do-
more
let's do something at
information.
the end,
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
do something at the end.
Okay. Damn. That's it. Rich Homie Quan. That's crazy. No. Thank
No,
you.
no,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Put the
thank you.
clips back
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
Oh, the feature we got.
Oh
the
yeah.
next
Okay.
feature,
So
yeah.
you said you were
So
talking.
everybody hit me, and it's like everybody thinks it's Hove because they've done big records, and Push is the red guy that can get a whole verse, and we want another whole verse. But then I hit Push. I was like, is this? I said something like, is this the gentleman? Do I know the gentleman? Yeah. Something. Then he hit me back. He added me like, Elliot, we don't talk about top secret stuff. You know the code or something.
Yeah.
But now the new speculation from rap fans is it not Jay-Z? It is Kendrick Lamar.
That evil little man.
Duckworth, the evil little man, Kendrick Lamar, which it looked like could be an incredible. So now I want it to be, as much as I love Hov, as we know, I want it to be Kendrick.
Because you're West Coast Wilson.
No, because it's exciting, and I think obviously
Why you want that over
Pusha
Hov?
had Pusha had the last great battle against Drake before the Drake Kendrick battle. Obviously, we're coming off the Drake Kendrick battle this year. It'd be great to hear Kendrick pop up on the Clipse album. He doesn't have to diss Drake on it; just be on the record. I think it'd be dope to hear Kendrick.
Why
on
would
it.
you prefer to hear
And
Dot over Hov?
Because I've heard more collaborations with Jay and Pusha, and I love nostalgia.
Crazy Kendrick
Kendrick verse. One of Kendrick's
best
greatest
verses.
guest
Yeah,
verses.
I agree.
Kendrick is not a great guest verse person. He doesn't do a lot of guest verses, and most times
He's great. He's just
they're
not prolific with it. He's great at guest verses. He just doesn't do a lot of them.
No, I don't think he's great at guest verses.
You don't think Kendrick?
He rarely has great. He rarely has great guest verses.
Let's not do this.
But when he has it, we can debate it. We can
Okay.
table
All right.
it.
Okay.
But that's actually one of his greatest, obviously, nostalgia. So yeah, I would love to hear him with Pusha and with Malice on the record. So I would love Kendrick. Look, I'm not gonna be disappointed if it's Hov, but to me it has to be either Jay or Kendrick, and I'm leaning towards that theory that it's Kendrick.
I think I don't have a comment on this, but I am excited for this Clipse album.
What do you expect?
I don't know. I'm anxious to hear No Malice.
Me too.
Like I really want to hear his perspective on a Clipse album. Like I think that's more intriguing to me. I mean, Push is going.
Yeah,
Push
he's gonna
always.
do what he's doing.
Push has been giving us joints like the whole time. So not the whole time, but consistently. I'm really interested to hear what No Malice has to say, and I mean, hopefully from a fan's perspective, he addresses a lot of his perspective on why he left and why he's back and what he's been up to and what got him to those places. Even if he doesn't do it on the music, I hope he mentions it in songs, so that way when he does talk to the media at some point, hopefully he'll talk about like his experiences. I think just to what you were saying earlier, from if I'm talking about drugs, I'm talking about rehab. If I'm talking about being malice and malicious, I want to talk about how I got to the place of being no malice. I'm more interested to hear that than I am really the album, to be honest.
Yeah, no, same here. And I also don't want to hear Kendrick on that feature verse. I would love for him to participate in the culture like we talked about and do features, but what I hate is the narrative that's already going on is that all of these people need to click up to beat Drake in this battle, and I would rather not see my Twitter timeline in shambles of, there they go again, everyone against Drake. I just don't need to see that. So Kendrick, if you have that verse, I'm gonna love it and listen.
Is there any speculation it could be somebody other than Kendrick or Jay-Z that you guys think?
I think it's gonna be a wild card.
Eminem?
Oh yeah, it could be like 50 Cent.
It's gotta
like a
be.
left
It
side
makes it feel
verse.
like it's somebody big. The fact that he's like, we just waiting on that verse, dog.
I'm gonna say Wayne.
Ooh,
Wow.
I would love Wayne.
That they squashed that finally.
I'm gonna say Wayne.
Crazy.
I'm gonna say
Pusha T and everybody that love him.
I'm gonna say
One of the
Wayne.
worst diss records
And I
of
don't
all
know
time.
if they're I don't know what the relationship is, but I'm just gonna say Wayne.
I like that. That's dope. That's hip hop.
Now that would stir some things up. There are already
Because-
people saying that there's some tension.
Not because of the Drake shit. That's not why I'm saying this. I think that like the whole I don't know necessarily. I don't think we'll ever get a Birdman Pusha T record again. But I
What
think
happened to that boy?
I think
Classic.
I think at some point, maybe not in Earth 616. That was a comic reference. Shout out to New Rock Stars. I don't think we'll get in Earth 616, but in a parallel universe, I would like to see Wayne on a Clipse album. That'd be hard.
That's
to
dope.
Because I don't even want a hook. Keep it a buck.
Oh, I think he should just do the hook, like on some duffel bag boy shit like this.
I would like, okay, give me two features then. I would like a Wayne hook and no verse, right? But I also
they
want.
only said it's one feature. Allegedly.
Yeah. Well, I want a bar fest.
That'd be dope.
Like I want Malice, no Malice.
Malice, Pusha, then Wayne.
Yes.
Yeah, that order. Yeah.
That'd be fire.
Just 32 bars each, no hook.
Maybe a soul sample to break them up.
Yeah.
What's
A
the
Kanye
four bars
chop,
a little
yeah.
like Seeing Green with Nicki, Wayne, and Drake? That was dope. Seeing Green.
Yeah.
When they did
Yeah.
Wayne went first. Wayne, Nicki, then Drake.
A non-posse cut, but a great record.
Yeah. So they agreed the posse cut is four,
I think
right?
people-
We got a
Yeah,
lot of heat
consensus?
online for that shit, by the way.
Is it
Some
three or
people said
four?
3.
Is there still a debate?
People were saying 3 because of classic groups and stuff like
I don't
that.
think we've ever
Yeah.
really decided if it's 3 or 4.
Sean said it was 3 because of Click, but I was saying like it feels like that's just a record, and then the posse cut feels like the 4.
Yeah, I think
but,
it's still an open debate if it's 3 or 4. I don't think people.
What if it's
there's
3 people in the
there's no
group,
consensus.
like TLC?
but then it's just a song with them. It's not.
No,
a
I'm
posse.
saying, and you add somebody as a posse cut.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know.
So like, so City High did a song with Eve.
Is that a posse cut? Because you already had 3. I don't know.
No, not that. No,
Like the
that's not
Fugees had, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, I know. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
We love our topics. That's why
Yeah,
we just
yeah,
go
that's
back
we
to
go
them.
back to them. But okay, can I clarify this? You said Kendrick isn't a good guest feature guy, okay? I just want to list you a few things.
Oh, boy.
Okay, The Game, The City, YG, really
Nope.
be smoking.
Nope.
Kanye, no more parties in LA.
Nope.
ASAP, fucking problems.
Yeah, girl, you want that dick?
Okay,
Classic.
you got
Yeah.
one. Okay, Pusha T, Nostalgia.
Yep.
Okay,
Two. Those are
Baby
two.
Keem, Family Ties.
Well, that's him, but they're like a group. I don't consider that a guest verse.
You can't say that, Elliott Wilson.
It was featured.
They're like a group. Are they a group or not?
It's like his cousin.
No.
So he
No.
shined through.
Hold on.
All right, that's another great guest verse.
Hold on. Let me clarify.
You're right. It's a guest verse, technically.
They are a group called.
Oh, the Hillbillies. That's true.
But he's asking about Kendrick Lamar guest features.
It's
And that wasn't them
it's
as a group.
technically a guest feature. Yes.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
That's for real.
All right. Drake, Buried Alive interlude.
That's not a guest feature, really, to me.
It's an interlude, but it was a feature. Beyonce, Freedom.
I like him more for you.
ASAP Rocky, One Train. Here's one for you. Big Sean, Control.
It's all good.
Ain't that on the Elliott Wilson list?
Unreleased.
No,
Unreleased.
I'm saying I'm giving him features where Kendrick was good.
No, but that's on one of his lists.
For which one?
Oh no, it's not. That's your.
That's
pick.
my list. That's my
your-
number one verse of all time.
Yeah.
Schoolboy Q, Collard Greens. Do we need more?
All right, those are good. Those are all good.
Okay. That's all
Bro,
right.
he rapped in Spanish.
Spanish. Do you know the Spanish
Que
part?
pasa?
I don't know the Spanish part.
Okay. Do you know the Spanish part?
I know the last part. Hey, pinche cabrón. Let's get it.
Let's get it though.
The black and the brown, brother.
Well,
West Coast.
TDE has a new heir to the throne though right now.
Ooh, TD
and,
done it again?
and it
Yes.
seems like Doechii
How do they do it, man? How does Top Dog do it? How did the team do it?
It seemed like Doechii what?
is the next up. It seems like she's proving that this is her moment.
Doechii hard, bro.
Everybody loved Doechii.
This is one of those projects where I feel like I couldn't escape it even if I wanted to. Like even under the chat in this show last week, even after I posted something else on Twitter that was completely irrelevant and people were in my comments, what do you think about the Doechii album? Doechii album's fire. You tweeted about it. Like there was people who I really respect their opinion about music just tweeting how good the Doechii album is. And I felt like to me the same thing happened with Control with SZA, where she wasn't touted to be this superstar yet. Like Control wasn't supposed to be what it became. I think this Doechii album is similar, where this is going to be a moment for her where we're going to look back and like, wow, that's when she really expanded into this new level. Even though she's been doing it, she has a massive song. She has a song bigger than most rappers we like. Like, It Is What It is a massive
Which song?
hit song. It Is What It Is.
Okay.
That song, I got to look it up, but I think it's
Yeah, I love the solo
platinum.
version.
What song did you like off the album, Elliott Wilson?
Let me pull up my phone, brother.
Jeremy Hecht.
I love the sequence like from 12 to 14 or 15, I think. That's my favorite.
So I think Denial is a River is one of the I thought it was one of the best storytelling, conscience songs. You like
You
that
guys
too?
love the high five. Seriously.
You want to be included?
High five.
No, I don't.
You don't want to be included? You want a hug? I got hugs for niggas on podcasts
And streaming.
and streaming.
Isn't high five a very white dude kind of thing?
That's why he did it to me.
That's why you
But
don't
you're
get
not
one.
white.
Yeah, I
I'm
know my
half white.
audience.
I'm at least half white. I'm not high five.
So you get half a high five.
I'm
You get high. You get a
25%
high
white.
2.
I'm sorry,
You get a high
25%
2.5.
He's spinning to the crowd. But yeah, that song I thought was an incredible performance song, just like in her mind. I loved it. And then I think Wait was my favorite song as like a song, structured hook.
Yeah, mine's that boom bap to Nissan, like that sequence from like 12 to 16. That's my favorite on the album. That run.
Yeah, Nissan Altima was crazy.
What day?
Nissan Altima's probably my
What day
favorite.
did the album drop, Jeremy Hecht?
It came out, I gotta look it up. Let's see. Doechii.
But I was telling Jeremy, I feel bad for my girl Tierra Whack. I feel like she's kind of that, but like Doechii's just like another level of it. Like
Doechii's better.
that's what I'm saying, and I feel bad because I like Tierra Whack too. But I feel like she's
Why you feel
executing
bad
it
because somebody
higher
better?
level, huh?
Why you feel bad because
Because I think
somebody?
they have very similar like unorthodox styles, and I like to see hip hop female diversity and growth, and like I just feel like I just feel competitive wise she's doing a bigger, better developed presentation of that type of styles.
August 30th.
The album dropped August 30th. Okay, don't read
Uh-oh.
who this text is from, but read the top message right there.
Is
All
it
right.
Top himself? Pause.
This message is, it says, put ears to, with a 2, this Doechii mixtape, let me know what you think and stands out to you.
And then go to my answer down there.
And you said, Slide, Denial is a River, Beverly Hills.
And what date was that sent to me?
August 17th.
So we have similar tastes, Jeremy Hecht. Then I think Denial is a River
Yep.
is a standout record, standout hip hop song.
Radio, we go to radio.
I think that she has a different path. I don't think Doechii's gonna be a stereotypical artist. She's not like, she's gonna be like SZA, but different. Where she doesn't have overarching radio success and all, but she's gonna be doing arenas for sure. Like Doechii's different. I'm keeping a buck with you. Me and Silas were talking. My manager Silas, we were talking about Doechii, and Doechii's Missy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I say, that lane. Yep, that's missing too. That's what I'm saying.
I think Doechii is Missy. So
modern era.
Shout out to Missy Elliott, the legend.
Still
the GOAT.
tearing down the stages.
Still doing stadiums. Arenas. But I think Doechii is gonna be that, and I think that artists would be remiss to not be getting those features right now, because you're not gonna be able to get them soon.
So how much do we credit Top Dog Entertainment, and they're like, seem like they still artist development and just the care to these projects and like.
Well, I think it's carefully crafted, but I also think that the artist, see, if I'm being honest, Top doesn't, Top, Musa, like the whole Can't Punch, like they don't really
touch the art,
constrain the artist to a certain thing. They let them create.
Well, she even said on the album, she called him out, which I thought was so fire, where, you know, she had the pop record, and then on that boom bap song, she's literally like saying, oh, get Top on the phone. She's kind of mocking like the fact that everyone wanted her to do a certain thing.
Yeah.
And for him to, you know, I do respect him for him to like put that out and not.
They don't really, the way TDE works is they let the artist create. And then once they get to a point where Top or collectively they feel like, oh, we want to do this with this, like we still need to do some music business, right? So once we have the body of whatever it is that your art is, all right, Top might be like, just like he did with Q, like, here, do this record, here, do this Collard Greens record, or here, do this Man of the Year record, or here, do this studio record, you know? Just so we have some business to do around the record, but it's still you, but it's not, you know, it probably wasn't something that you walked in per se, but they don't really get in the way of the artists like creating. Like J-Rock has been working on his album, Ab Soul's working on Soul Burger. Like Top is not in those sessions when I'm there. Like he's not there like that. They'll do the work and then present it like, hey, here's what I'm thinking, and then they'll go from there. But it's not like this dictatorship type shit that people think it is.
Yeah. No, I think they're getting credit. I think that was the old model of saying that.
So I want to give Doechii credit, you know, creatively.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too, because I thought this was a great way to stamp who you are on an album and not do it with antics. Like a lot of times when people get lost in a hit, you know, we can talk about Designer after with what 50 was saying about him, but you can, yeah. Okay, all right, we'll get to it. But no, I feel like when you have a song that's that big in a realm that you didn't necessarily see yourself at, I don't know that she saw herself being in the pop lane like that song became.
Yeah.
It's hard to come back down and show people who you are with your art. But here she did it where she broke down what she was going through. She broke down what she wanted to do. She broke down what she can do and not to box her in. Yeah. And she did it with music. I don't know that this will necessarily, I didn't look at the sales projections. I can't imagine this doing huge numbers, but I think it'll be a huge moment for her career looking back.
Absolutely. And I think I almost feel like she'll put out a lot of dope visuals before the album came out too. I don't even feel like there's even connectivity of the big record she had with this project. I think it's its own living, breathing thing that people are very impressed by. It doesn't even seem like a connection to it. Like that record wouldn't even belong on this album per se. It's like, so yeah, I just credit her. And again, I do give a lot of props to TD. Obviously Kendrick moved on and built his own thing, but Schoolboy Q album this year obviously is in the conversation. And SZA's massive success, and now another one, man. It's just, you got to give him props, man. It's an incredible run.
Did she move up on your list after this?
Huh?
Did she move up on your list after this?
Which one, Doechii?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Where do you have her?
I still got to do my female.
Where do you have her right now?
List. I'm not telling you that.
How many spots did this project change her?
There's a lot going on. Nicki's on the road again.
There's a lot going on?
Yes, in the female rappers sphere right now in the game, man. I'm working on this list very carefully, man.
Okay. I can't wait to see this. They going wear your ass out.
You're going at like some of the. You're going about the craziest fan bases in the game right now. Like you're literally going up against like Megan, Nicki, Ice Spice, like Lotto, like fan bases.
Oh, they gonna whoop you, boy.
Somebody got to do it, man.
Go ahead, do your shit.
I did want to ask you too about the Section 80 comment that Top made. Do you remember what the feeling was like around Kendrick, especially in those circles when Section 80 dropped?
Yeah, that was a special one because so I believe that Dre first took notice to Dot when Ignorance is Bliss came out, and I think that was on OD, if I'm not mistaken. And so the first one was Kendrick Lamar EP,
right?
Then Overly Dedicated, and then Section 80. So Section 80 was like the third project of his new who he was going to be.
That was before, like once he changed his name to Kendrick.
Correct, on our show. And so the feeling to me is it wouldn't be the same because Top was, orchestrating the whole shit. And to keep it real, like not to put his business out there, like Top was out of pocket for a lot of this. Like this is all him funding and all of this stuff. Now he has resources, relationships, and more backing and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily think, from my perspective, it would feel the same because when Section 80 and like all that stuff, Follow Me Home, J-Rock's album, when all that stuff was going on, like Top was really out the mud with this. Like I'm all in on this. Yeah. Like my whole livelihood is riding on the success of these individuals that I'm pouring into, right? And so now he's successful and whatnot. The feeling I think that he's referring to is the organic nature of how Doechii kind of came into her own, how he got her, and then her coming into who she's going to be in this industry. I think that's what he's speaking to.
Like you said with the Missy comparison. So it's like this is the launch of a career,
this is the launch of
artist.
Correct. This is the launch of an artist that's going to have a real long, substantial career. And I think that's what he's talking about. I can't speak for him, but I think for me, that's how I look at it. Like I look at Doechii as one of them artists who's like Missy, and she's going to be one of them artists that's going to be around. You can't ignore her. You're not going to be able to like, she's not going to be like here and then gone and here and then gone. She's going to be in your face. And I think what's dope is she's from Florida too. Like name a lot of artists that people give that kind of acclaim to, female artists from Florida like that. Like people giving JT props, but I think people are giving JT props because of the Young Miami situation. I don't think JT is getting her own set of props. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
just now she is.
Right. But if you think about it, you got Trina, you had I think Kaya.
My Neck, My Back, man.
Classic. Classic record.
So, like, you got to pay attention to these people, and I think that's important. And also the Gator reference.
Oh, true. Yeah.
That's some Florida shit.
Okay, is it called Gatorade because it would aid a gator as well? Like, was it made in Florida?
No, fool.
This is just questions I have.
No.
Okay, all right.
The fuck is he talking about?
Okay, I thought about it the other day because Gatorade,
what
right?
man's is this?
But it's like if it was made in Florida and it could aid gator or something.
No, bro, no, that don't got shit to do with nothing.
Okay, all right. I did want to talk about
why are they called shoes? Exactly.
I don't know.
Go ahead. And shout out to Jay Heck with the. You got the Shazam 3s on.
Nah, these are the I Believe in Success ones. These are my boys from the street corner on Fairfax. They've been slanging shoes. This is their first shoes. They've been slanging T-shirts for years. So.
I got the Dusties. The Dusty
11s?
The Dusty 11s. You know what I'm saying?
What are these?
New Balancing,
Okay.
Lights.
Those are nice, actually.
What are those?
New Balance.
What are those?
Oh, okay.
Sure. I did want to say rest in peace to Fatman Scoop, too.
Rest in peace to Fatman Scoop.
He passed away actually when we were uploading last week, and one of the greatest.
What was your introduction to Fatman Scoop when you first realized who Fatman Scoop was?
Okay, is this a safe place?
No, but you gonna tell us? So cook.
Can I? Okay, I'm just gonna disclaim this. I'm gonna say this, but I want to look this up to know if it's a fact because I've had this thought a lot, and I don't know if it's true or if I'm just making this up. But just as long as there's no judgment, and then we could cut it out the episode if it's not true.
What you mean? We're not cutting nothing out the episode.
Okay, I'm just gonna make a statement. Okay, I believe this to be true. Okay. I think Fatman Scoop helped teach me how to eat pussy.
Wow, holy mackerel! I didn't know we were going
Rest
there.
in peace.
Hey, you know who would love that? Rest in peace. I know Fatman Scoop would love that.
What are we doing?
Okay. Listen,
he would love that.
There's not any other.
What are we doing here?
No. Can I explain?
Wow.
Can I explain?
No, you're done.
No. But I need to. No. We need to explain. Otherwise, I'm gonna be. What the hell is he talking about?
ISO for Jeremy, man. Set that pick, man. Set the pick.
Okay.
Go ahead and cook.
Listen. When I was first being exposed to adult films on the internet, okay, when I was I don't know, 13 or something like that.
Wild, man.
I went online.
Go ahead, listen. Go ahead.
No. And one of the first videos on one of these adult film websites, I kid you not, was how to eat pussy with Fatman Scoop. And I believe it was to be his wife, or
they did do like a relationship podcast kind of thing.
Okay, all right, it was
Or
a real thing.
Show back then.
It was a show.
I forgot about
so
that.
So I click on the video, unbeknownst to me, I
Was it on
learned a
YouTube?
lot. No,
On
this was
YouTube?
on like an adult website.
He was on Pornhub.
Wow.
He was Pornhubbing it up.
It was on Pornhub.
Wow.
And so what I want to say is, weirdly enough, Fatman Scoop had a bigger impact on my life than maybe any other rapper.
You see
He's in a successful relationship now.
You see that headline?
That was a headline.
With a lovely
pun
young
intended.
lady. Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
Yes,
But
shout
no,
out to
so
her.
you click on the video and then what? You just listen to Scoop and his wife talk about.
Yeah, it wasn't any. They didn't show anything. They were just talking about it. They just discussed.
What do you remember specifically? They said that inspired you, like the.
They just walked through the process.
What part did you like the most? Was it the part about was it Jeff?
He didn't mention Jeff, actually. This had nothing to do with Jeff. This is Jane.
Jane.
Yeah.
So did you?
Oh, Jeff Hardy.
So after you learned,
I was like, what?
so you watched this.
callback.
So you watched this video at 13.
And then I did my research and looked up some things on.
So you watched the
online.
video of Fatman Scoop at 13.
Yeah.
When did you apply the game you got?
14.
West Coast. Hey, they up there going crazy in Canada, huh? Boy, Jeremy had a freaky ass. Boy.
She was 15 though. She's an older woman.
She was an older woman.
Yeah.
So, okay. So in Canada, you don't just fuck with people your age. It's either older or younger.
I see what you're trying to do there.
I'm just asking a question.
I do see it, but my personal experience was that woman just happened to be older the first time. But yeah, so shout out to Fatman Scoop.
I had no idea
I'm
we
so
were gonna
glad
go
you
there.
confirmed that, because
That's
boy was
insane.
I nervous about going out on a limb.
That is insane. And again, I knew Fatman Scoop personally. He would love that story.
Okay.
He'd be so proud.
He would definitely love that
influenced-
story.
okay.
Shout out to
Okay.
Fatman Scoop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew Scoop. I don't know, you could tell your story, but remember Fatman Scoop was promotion guy in the music business, Tommy Boy Records. That's when I met him. You give records out, go up to the label, beg for records. But he always had such a big personality that back then the music industry people were more behind the scenes. You didn't see what people look like. But with him, they started putting him to the forefront. So he would do ads like the back of the Source magazine and be like, it's Fatman Scoop, and these are the records coming out on Tommy Boy Records. And just this huge, big personality, man. He's a very passionate dude. And then it led to him making those club records and becoming this voice. And like, it all made sense. He got on the radio. At the height of Hot 97, he had the late night show. And the late night show, you had way more freedom to do crazy shit. And he would go out, interview artists and on the DAT, and then play the interviews back on his show. And I think that's how he ended up doing. I saw a podcast where he was talking about how he got on the Missy Lose Control record because he was with Ciara and he was like interviewing her, and then he was leaving the studio and they started playing that beat. And he just started doing chants like fooling around, and then Jay Brown, one of Jay-Z's guys, was like, "Yo, get in the booth, put that down." Like it was all impromptu. So, wow. And then it led to him doing all these club records like "Be Faithful," all these other great things, man. But yeah, just a beautiful soul, good-hearted dude. Everybody loves Scoop. Another brother, Savvy Davis, is in the industry. He's related to him, so I want to send my condolences to him and the family. But yeah, we're gonna miss Scoop for real.
Yeah.
Man, I think mine was definitely those chants on his records.
Yeah.
Like I think that's every
Be
DJ.
Faithful, right? That's one of the
Be
big
Faithful is infamous. You got Drop, Timbaland and Magoo. Like
all the chicken heads, be quiet.
Man, what? when I first heard that, I was like, this is amazing, because chicken head was that was a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Chicken heads. But I think like what the most interesting thing about this whole thing with Fatman Scoop is because I saw like people trying to make it a beautiful thing, like, oh man, he passed on stage, like that's really like indicative of his legacy and whatnot. But like outside of like who he is as a man and as a companion, or uncle, like the real family that knows him and stuff like that, I think hip hop usually takes these people and we take ownership of them, and like they're ours. Mm-hmm. Like, and it's like, yeah, I mean, in theory, yes, but like people did that when Nip passed too. It was like, well, Nipsey was my go-to for this, but Nipsey was also a dad. You know what I'm saying? He was also like, an uncle, a nephew, a son, like a human being. So I think the most important thing is to humanize these people. And people are like that. We even if we idolize them, like they're still human beings, And so, like, let's treat them like human beings with respect and stuff like that. Because I've seen people, like, making memes and stuff like that. And it's going to be jokes. Like, that's how we deal with trauma, is jokes.
Yeah.
But also give people time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I saw the memes going up same day.
Immediately, yeah.
And it was like, damn, bro, like, his you know, he probably got, I don't know if he has kids, but he probably got, like, a family that's seeing this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Awful.
Yeah.
Just send them in the group chat. Don't put them online if you're at the bare minimum. But Fatman Scoop, bro, I think now here's the question though. when you listen to Fatman Scoop on these records, does it? To me, it sounds like the first time every time.
It's like a premiere.
Every time it's like a movie, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't know. This might be a hot take, and I don't want to make it about that, but I low key look at people like Lil Jon got his shit from Fatman Scoop.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he would ever say that, but I remember Fatman Scoop being the first person that I heard hype records and stuff like that. And then Lil Jon era came.
Could have been inspired.
Yeah. No, it feels like playing a radio job. Like whenever, like at our open mic, sometimes we'll do like a dance circle in the middle, and we'll usually, you know, drop the Fatman Scoop Sierra record, and like hearing him go like, whatever I say, yo, I feel like You Got Served is happening real time. There's a DJ playing, like, yeah. So he definitely still has like a potent voice.
Yeah, shout out to Fatman Scoop, man.
Rest in peace.
Legend.
Do hype men still exist in the same way in hip hop? Like, is that still a
maybe
position?
maybe that should happen too. Maybe hopefully somebody studies what Scoop contributed and gets inspired. And why don't we have these type of records? You know, we need these big party records and energy. Like that is a lane. Like why isn't nobody else in the new generation taking that on? Maybe it'll inspire somebody.
And it doesn't have to be Khaled. It doesn't have. He doesn't have to. I mean, he's already doing it. He doesn't have to continue
Khaled
that.
already got it covered.
Yeah, he did that already.
Spotlight?
You want to go Spotlight?
I'm trying not to do designer. You want to do
Okay,
designer?
well, no, we can skip designer. we can skip designer. We can skip designer. And we can also,
Timmy Turner?
if it's okay with you, was that a hit?
I just think, remember that it was a video he did? Was XXL,
Yeah.
a little freestyle one?
Timmy
Timmy
Turner.
Turner?
He was talking about
After he only had one song?
Yeah, and then he came back. But do we we'll also want to skip over Ice Spice's feud?
Yes.
Okay. Do we want to skip over Tony Yayo and your favorite?
Yes.
Okay. Do we want to talk about Lil Wayne's Carter 6 being finished?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Lil Wayne, it's a GOAT and a legend. Elliott Wilson is not a fan.
Oh, God. It's a narrative. I love Lil Wayne, too. I've interviewed Lil Wayne multiple times.
I've interviewed a lot of motherfuckers. That don't mean nothing. What you mean? I'm excited because I see Lil Wayne in the studio and I'm seeing him like active. I like activated Lil Wayne. Like, and I also think it has something to do with this Louisiana Fest that just got announced with the official Hot Boys reunion, apparently, allegedly.
I think it's just because Beatrice isn't invited.
Bro, like, come on, bro.
We need Baby there too, though. Everybody's a real reunion.
So I'm excited for. Hopefully, we get Wayne the way I want Wayne.
And how's that?
I want
Pause.
Yeah, pause.
No pause. I want Wayne the way I want
him
Wayne.
the way you want him.
The way I want him.
How do you want him?
I want a Millie Wayne. I want a Millie
Here's
Wayne.
the problem with Wayne.
Okay. See,
He's been giving us.
Did I say it? Elliott Wilson?
I think we all agree that Wayne has shown in recent years he could body a feature. It's his own records haven't been as strong, which is interesting. Like I question his direction of what he's trying to do when it's his own record. When he gets on other people's records where it's like there's already an inspiration about how the flow's gonna go and what the song is, he murders it. And it gives you a Millie-esque type vibes. I wonder what's the home strategy now. Like we say, like some guys play better on the road. What's his home strategy when it comes to these albums? Because the last Carter albums have not been the level of Carter 2 or Carter 3 by far. So I'm a little worried about Carter 6, the idea of it, basically.
I think the key to breaking that, and it's finished, so I know, you know, there's nothing he can do.
He said it's finished?
He said it was finished, yeah. So I don't know that he's gonna go back and change anything based on public opinion, but what I would say is potentially the key to fixing that problem is having more guests on the album. Like it doesn't need to be all Wayne. His bars are potent enough on a 16 or a 32.
He doesn't do a lot of guests on his records.
But he does guest rec. So having that duality, I think, works, and then also having producers who are a little bit outside of his usual camp who are able to bring new sounds. Like when that Swizz Beat record dropped off Carter 5.
Speaking of party songs, that was the one. And that was the guest with Swizz on it.
That was a
That's
hit.
his last big kind of like record, his record, because it has that party vibe like we talked about earlier. And it does have a guest, Swizz.
And Uproar is 99 BPM.
Ooh.
That's what you want from Wayne?
100%.
A lot of 99s.
Do you know what was the BPM on this one?
Here we go again.
You might know off top.
Callbacks and topics.
How to Love?
Yeah.
77.
It's around 70.
Had a lot of crooks trying to steal your heart.
I actually don't like the song.
You didn't like it? I loved it. I mean, of course I would love it, but
I think for a prostitute flank, it's better.
it was crazy. So,
I feel like dying.
what did you say?
I said
just now?
77. I lied. I don't know.
Wait, you just said 77?
I said 77.
He just guessing though.
Okay.
It's like
I don't know how to count it.
it's like 76, 77.
Elliott Wilson is the BPM god. It was 70.
Upset.
It was, listen, a tempo of 154 BPM. It can also be used halftime at 77 BPM or double time.
See, I came in number 1. I get my bonus. You came in number 2. Don't be upset, man. Where's my 5K,
Wow.
Jeremy? Come on, buddy.
Why do I have the 5K?
Where's Jeremiah? Where's Jared at?
Yeah,
He's
bonus.
out of town. God, I got
That
lucky.
was crazy.
I guessed it. I got lucky. You were close.
That was crazy.
You only missed it by 1.
Well, I said 76, 77.
He did go back up, yeah.
You said 76. I said 77.
I said 76, 77.
77, yeah, he did, yeah. So 76.5, so we rounded up. Yeah, you both win. I had
all
no
winners.
clue. But we are all winners that we got that
So
record.
what do you think about the Wayne? You excited for the Wayne album? You think?
I'm really excited, but I
You said
don't
more
have
guess. Guess a guess on
Yeah,
it.
I don't have high expectations going in, so I'm happy to just hear Wayne. I'm at this point in my music listening career for people who have been around for a long time. I'm just appreciative that they're putting out art. I'm not trying to be
Yeah,
too
I think it's more to be
critical.
like, Wayne says he don't really mess with nobody, even though like he does records with everybody, but he doesn't really mess with nobody. I just think
Yeah.
when it comes to his music, he needs to be a little less isolated, I feel.
Or have people in
Sometimes.
because he
For his
literally
own
said
music.
he thought 21 Savage was a group. He has no clue. He doesn't listen to any music. He literally said that. He said when I first heard 21
No,
Savage,
my
I thought it was a
favorite is,
group. You need people in
My
there that
favorite
know.
was when he thought the Weezy producer drop was about him. Weezy out of here.
Oh, yeah,
he was
yeah.
getting
He's like,
bigged up.
it's like, I am
Weezy
outta
outta
here.
here. Like, thank you, Future. Shouting me out on all these songs.
Yeah, so have some producers who are tapped into what's going on and bring a new sound. And then you do Wayne. But I do like when Wayne sings. I like his hooks. I like his auto
Wayne
tune.
never like we see. It's always the Madman Wayne. It's like I don't really mess with the artists, but I got a great team. Mac Main, these people, they give me the songs. They want my 16. I go in the booth. I'm by myself. I do 4 or 5 of them a night. Why can't Wayne have a studio where he's making his album and invite people over to
That would be
his
fire.
studio?
A Dark Twisted Fantasy
Like
with
that, even
Wayne.
if they shot a video, see, that's what I would. That's what I would want from Wayne, DJ Head, is I think the Carter 6 should be an event album where he's in the studio documenting the whole thing and he's bringing guests to work with him, not just him always isolated sending verses out to everybody, but
Yeah.
You talking about like the Donda experience at the
yeah, exactly. So more of that. And again, even if it leads to only like 3 or 4 features, I still feel like it opens him up more than what he continues to do, which is isolate himself, especially when it comes to his music, because I think it's hurt his own music.
Okay.
Don't be isolated.
Yeah, I agree. Bring some people in who know what's up. I was just so we heard earlier that there was a rumor that Rich Homie Quan had passed away. We heard while we were filming. So I'm just looking right now to confirm if it's actually happened. Doechii posted it. I mean, so there's The Source just posted. Hot New Hip Hop just posted. I'm assuming.
Breaking
I
news.
didn't know if TMZ posted.
I call somebody from Atlanta. I'm gonna call my guy Trav. Let's see what he says.
TMZ hasn't reported it yet.
Call him my ATL reporter, Trav.
Okay. Yeah, see what he says. Yeah, somebody just said TMZ ain't report Rich Homie passed away yet. Let's hold. That was at 10:55 a.m.
Your call has been
Rich Homie Quan.
I'm gonna just hit him. Hold on.
Doechii said what? Oh shit.
Yo. You're my ATL reporter. I'm on the air with taping the Bigger Picture. Do you think the thing about Quan is true? It's definitely true, right? This is my guy Trav, ATL's finest, man. My producer partner for Elliott Wilson Experience. If he says it's on good authority, I think we go in, buddy. Okay. Damn. All right, Trav, I'll hit you back. Thank you, brother.
Wow.
34.
34 years old. Wow.
Well, you know what? Let's do the spotlight first. Let's bring it up beat, and then we'll close out.
On Rich Homie.
Dedicate the episode to Rich Homie Quan.
Okay, cool.
Spotlight.
All right.
I had a good one. I keep forgetting. My guy, 38 Special, man. Spitter from New York. The Mother and the Gun project. Look, my man over there, 9, he knows what's up with that. Mother and the Gun. And he's got actually a film for it. I'm missing the premiere. It's in New York tonight. And I just think that's just a solid brother. He's one of those spitters, New York. And we had him on the Rap Radar podcast back in the day. I was just super supportive of him and what he's doing and his style. And yeah, Mother and the Gun, it's a good project. About 9 songs. He just gets to it on some hip-hop shit. And I'm excited to see the film and his vision behind it. So shout out 38 Special.
Check it out.
Trust.
My pick is actually going neighboring. We're going to New Jersey for this one.
There you go, East Coast.
You know, East Coast on this side. I found this guy on Spotify algorithm, just like one of the songs radios, pulled it up. His name's Chris Patrick, but he was so like it takes a lot for me to be like, this person has everything. Like, he had a hook, he had storytelling, he had metaphors, he had bars, he had melody, he had a full song structure, and it made me so intrigued to learn more. Like, I'm excited to dive into his discography a little bit. But Chris Patrick, his name, the name of the song I loved was Take Time for Myself, but he had a few others. He had 3 a.m., Oakland Interlude, he had Barcelona. You got to say it with the accent. And he just put out an album called The Calm that I'm going to check out. So I'll report back. But he had it all. So I think I saw he was on tour with Russ once I looked into his profile.
I've seen his name. I got to check out his stuff.
Yeah, he was fire.
My spotlight, I'm going to go...
West Coast?
Yeah.
We need some balance.
Shout out to Compton AV. He just dropped a song called Do My Dance with Zoe Sama and Jason Martin on it. So it's a joint. It's a slap. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
slaps.
A little slap, you know what I'm saying? Called Do My Dance. Compton AV's old Sama Jason Martin. Go check that out. Look it.
Wow. Shout out to Trent too.
TMZ confirmed.
Yeah, TMZ confirmed.
Yeah.
Wow. Literally, as we're talking.
We dedicate this episode to Rich Homie Quan and his family.
In the memory of
friends. So what we think about, when you think of Rich Homie Quan, you think Type of Way? Obviously, the run.
I think Flex.
Flex was hard too.
Flex was a big one for me, man.
And then to run him and Thug.
Rich Gang.
Him and
Lifestyle.
Thug, Rich Gang.
Lifestyle. Would Lifestyle be considered a cult classic at this point?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? He has classics. That's what I'm trying to say. And like, just even that whole Rich Gang movement, the whole mixtape, like there's so many classics on there. I love that we didn't have that Still Going In mixtape. That was like a lot of great. Like, to me, he's like one of the most underrated dope rappers from Atlanta. Like he should be on any top 40 ATL rapper list or whatever situation like that. It's unfortunate, like the business kind of got in the way and it kind of deterred him a little bit and he had to go independent, but you can't deny his contributions to the culture. Like, he has classic records.
Yeah, especially influence too. I think of the way that he used auto-tune in his vocals and his melodies and his flow. I think he's one of those guys that doesn't get enough credit for what he did, maybe because of what didn't or did happen after that.
Yeah.
But like, he is a guy that I looked at and like, it was such a unique sound. Like, even if you look to the...
So he did that, but had a street sound to it, right?
Yeah.
Usage,
And I would think a lot of guys, you know, I won't put any names out there, but I think we're going to see a lot of people be like, he influenced me and he influenced my sound. But I actually, my last actual memory of him was I interviewed him in the old Up Rocks office, and it's crazy to think now, but shout out to, you know, rest in peace to Gangsta Boo too. So they had met that day. Rich Homie Quan and Gangsta Boo met, I believe, for the first time that day, right, in the studio. I think Tyrese was interviewing Gangsta Boo on the other side. We were interviewing Rich Homie Quan, and they had met, and now to see that both of them are no longer here is eerie and crazy. But in this interview, my favorite memory was I asked him about the lyrics on Lifestyle, and I was like, yo, do you even know what Thug is saying there? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I got it. He's like, yeah. Is it? He's like, no. And he like went back and forth like 4 or 5 times, but it was just funny because it was how iconic that was that nobody really knew what he was saying. But he was a pure spirit, and I've always wondered what you were saying on. You know, when you were talking about Lifestyle, you said
Yeah, that wasn't me on that part. It was Thug. So yeah, but I can tell you what he say. Did a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle. Nigga living like a beginning, but I don't wait. I got it. And I'm living like a beginning. I don't wait. I'm trying to get in like performance mode. And it came straight from the bottom to the top of my lifestyle. Nigga living like a beginning. Then I don't know what he said. But he said, they're actually words. They're actually words. And I know I'm like, this is just like, I don't know, like a brain fart. I need a little more Casamigo.
Yeah, okay. We'll come back to it.
And then the other memory that I have is when he was in the college locker room after, I forget what team it was, but they had won the national championship and they were playing type of way before every single win. And then when they won the national championship, he was in the middle of the circle and they were playing type of way. And it was just, so he was just, seemed like a really pure spirit when I met him. So
yeah, man, the music outlives us all, man. Yeah. He's made a lot of classics.
Bro.
What's the other one? You got some more?
Bro, Rich Homie Quan, 34 is so young, bro.
So young.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because I was even thinking about like all of the homies like Nip and then even, I mean, different circumstances, I'm sure, but like Nip, even P&B Rock.
Yeah.
P&B Rock was 30.
Yeah.
Pop Smoke. Like, it's just crazy, bro. I'm looking at this. And then I'm also looking at his catalog. And Rich Homie Quan would put out so much more music than people was aware of.
Yeah.
Like he would just drop songs and
So
stuff like that.
You reminded me of Flex. He caught that hit later
you said
on.
that
No,
about-
Flex and then Type of Way.
The classic.
But the one I think, obviously, us being out here is he was on My Hitter, you know, for
true.
YG. And that was
Yeah.
YG's first breakout big
record. Yeah.
mainstream hit. You know what I'm saying? With him and Jeezy. So like that's crazy too. Like, and then Quan also had a song that was a regional hit out here called Walkthrough with Problem Jason
Oh yeah,
Martin.
man, what the walkthrough?
That shit was all the DJs
Problem
playing.
record.
Yeah.
Yeah, he guested on that. It was Problem's record, Jason Martin.
I'm feeling like the man when I walk through. That shit was hard, man. They got
I'm about to make a Rich Homie Quan playlist.
He was
man.
even on that Lil
RP.
Dickie's first big hit. He
Bro,
had that
Save
verse,
That
which
Money?
was Save That Money,
Say
which is
That Money is
hilarious.
hard, bro.
Yeah, that
I don't
shit
care
was
what nobody
so-
say. Lil
No.
Dicky got slapped.
He is slaps, and especially the way he like came in and he used his verse and Quan. I asked him about it. And he said like Lil Dicky was very meticulous about it, and they actually planned it together. So yeah, he's got.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
No, he got off on that shit. Shout out to Rich Homie Quan, man.
Yeah, man.
Also,
it's dedicated to him.
I think what's gonna be interesting is to see, not necessarily the industry react to it, but to see like the people he has collaborated with.
Yeah.
Because I know it's hella verses out there. It's hella
We're gonna
hooks.
get more music, probably.
It's gonna be, you know what I mean? I don't really, I'm not a fan of the posthumous albums, but I'm okay with like posthumous features.
Yeah, posthumous respect I like. You know
what I
like,
mean? Like,
I'd rather you get flowers while alive, but if you're able to, if you have something that you know the person loved, like I Big Sean and Deep Reverence, you know, I think that even though it was something they had talked about and for us to kind of get that closure on that moment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I know he got verses, hooks.
Yeah, I
that
think it
are
could
out
actually
there.
be more of a resurgence for him, you know, sadly,
Unfortunately,
posthumously. Because he was sort of this outside of the industry, and now people are going to realize how much he contributed. It's like, and maybe embrace it, like you said, that way. We'll get.
Yeah, I don't want an album though. Like if people are in charge of his estate, like if he wasn't already planning this album, don't give me the album. But let's clear some of these. You know, some of the ones that he wanted to come out. Let's clear some of those and get those wrapped up.
And with the people, I always feel weird about him, like posthumous releases with people that had never talked about collabing. To me, it feels weird because I know that there's certain circumstances where it's like the family makes a decision or the producers and they're like, you know, he would have loved you, like, and that's cool. But just to me, it's like if I spoke, it's like a will. If I gave my will and said, you know, here's what you can do with my music, or I'd spoken to you and like, hey, it's my life's work. I really want to get this project out, and I trusted you, and we've had conversations, and you know what my vision is. For you to put out the piece of art, that's cool. But it feels weird for some new artist to collab with somebody that didn't ever talk about it.
Shout out to Rich Homie Quan, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Dedicated to him for this episode. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you, guys.
The bigger picture.
Picture. Whoa, the mic fell right after. Damn.
You know, I like to give people their flowers while I'm in front of them, so I just want to let you know, like, man to man, I, you know, respect everything you've done, and hip-hop as a whole is thankful for everything you've contributed and continue to
I
contribute.
appreciate that. I ain't really good with accepting stuff like that, but thank you, man. I hear it a lot, but it's still so much I haven't done. It's still so much I'm yet to do. Tell me that 10 years from now,
Deal.
my nigga.
We'll see you. do there.